Welcome back to Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. Tara and Kai, aka Tara, is here today. Woo woo, I'm not alone. We're going to talk about control as the illusion. I'm a control freak for sure. And just like our son, when things don't go my way, I do throw a adult fit.
Oh,
Tara, what's your take on?
I'm not
uh,
about the adult fit, but
No, 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 not about the adult fit. I don't want to talk about the adult fit. It
gotcha,
looks too
gotcha.
terrible. I want to talk about, let's say, what's something you've tried really hard to control, but it still didn't go your way. And I can elaborate on that once you answer that, if you have anything that you.
Relationships, you can try to do it. You can try to control those quite a bit, and at the end of the day, there's two people involved in that one, so two people's decisions. I can't control what the other person decides or chooses to do on any given moment. So, and that's friendships, that's in a work relationship, that's a marriage. I can only do my part. So I can try to control all the parts of it, but you're not going to be able to. Try to make it work out the way you want to, but that's definitely an area where I notice that you just don't have that control. But there's lots of areas. But I
On
think
my,
we have to back up a little bit and go, we need to have the illusion of control in order to function. I
yes,
have to believe that the next day is coming, that what I'm doing matters, even though in actuality we can't actually control what's going to happen the next day. There could be a car accident, you could be incapacitated forever. Who
don't
knows?
say things like that to somebody who's a hypochondriac, which we will explore that topic on another podcast because it's too lengthy. But so why do we want the illusion to control?
We have to
Especially
have the
let's
illusion of
say
control. We have, and otherwise, why would we do anything? If I don't believe tomorrow's coming, I'm not going to plant seeds today. I'm not going to go to work today if I don't think there's a tomorrow that I'm going to be participating in. So we have to operate under the illusion that I control enough that this matters. I'm going to keep doing this.
this podcast and you matter to me.
Yes, it does matter. So,
But
but
but la-
you're not. I'm not saying things don't matter. I'm saying we can't control them,
but
but we
we
still
can a
do
little
them
bit.
because they matter.
We can control them a little bit.
No, we can't control my schedule last week, right? Because so I couldn't be there. So,
Right. But we
but
can
that's
still control
okay
some of the
because we have
commitments
other
we can control.
options. We have other options of things we can do.
I need to control things.
Yes, we need to
My husband
believe we can
says that I
control things.
love to control,
I'm sure.
that I love control.
Well, it tends to
Why?
with our anxiety. It tends to make us feel safe. If I believe I do all the things I'm supposed to do, bad things won't happen to me. Then I'm going to do all the things I want to do because I think that means bad things won't happen to me. I don't want bad things to happen to me. I'll go to work. I'll save money. I'll do all those things because I don't want the bad things to happen. We can't control a lot of stuff, though. We can't focus on that part. We have to focus on what is within our control. Our actions are within our control, our reactions are within our control, but the events around us, I think that's part of why people are having such a hard time because there's so much in the world that is obviously outside of our control but impacts us daily. Gas
Yeah,
prices, grocery prices.
1000%.
Yes.
You're kidding me? I took gas the other day and it kept on ticking like almost $70. I'm like, I
Yep.
I don't even have any words. Like, how is somebody with an anxiety disorder like myself and who's a control freak, like, how are we supposed to handle life? Get up in the morning and have that, like, how are we supposed to
Okay,
not
you
try to
focus on what
control?
is within our control. You limit how much of the media you're consuming or just news in general, all that information about things we cannot control. And even when we do receive it, focus on what is within your control. You don't like what you're seeing in the world. What can we do to change my corner of the world? Volunteering, reaching out to our politicians, sending letters, volunteering with organizations we believe in. We can do all of those things. That is within our control. And we can try to make a difference there. So
But
that's what you want
for
to focus on.
like for somebody who has severe anxiety, because life, as we know it, is completely backwards. It used to never be like that. This kind of isolation. It used to be about community. Now people are just, I mean, um, even like the toilet paper today came from Walmart behind my door. I didn't have to talk to anybody. Like, how is that? How does that not, that kind of lifestyle not help with anxiety because you feel so isolated in your own bubble all the time. And
Yep.
and when you say like you can volunteer, you can do this, you can do that to try to control some of those things in your life. My brain, for somebody who has, I would say definitely anxiety, and I also have too much coffee today. I'm not proud about it at all, but my brain just goes with what you just said, and it feels so overwhelming. And
And that's why
then
then on those you focus on the smaller things. I can make my bed in the morning. I can take 5 minutes and take really deep breaths and imagine how I want my day to go. I can put my house in order, and that makes me feel like things are less chaotic. I can listen to music and tune out some of the stress and anxiety of certain things. That's what's then within your control.
and then what about control feels like security, but it's just anxiety in disguise. Is that always the case, or can people actually like,
Exercising our control tends to soothe our anxiety, and that's why it can create an unhealthy loop.
okay. I would love for anybody listening. Oh, also we're on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube because I'm doing it. I'm doing it thanks to my incredible husband. But I, I want to hear comments. Like, how is everybody? Maybe there's a ton of people out there that don't think like me at all. Maybe they're just like, oh, I'm gonna get up today. Ooh, no anxiety, and they're just like breezing through life. But that's
Oh,
not
they exist. I've heard this, yes.
people like that exist.
Supposedly, yeah. I don't know a lot of them, but I mean, there are people like
Okay.
that exist.
I kudos to you. Please do leave us comments or like all the love on what you're doing different because I wake up, especially, as a homeschool parent, and I feel the
You
heaviness
can
quite.
you can reprogram your brain on some of those things, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I mean, not all of us have time to do that when we're also homeschooling children and working all these hours and we don't have the opportunity to really retrain our brain on that one.
I'm trying.
The first small step you can do is pay attention to what is within my control. Where do I tend to get the most stressed out? What would help me in that situation? If you're always running late and that creates that anxiety for you, okay, then let me really try to reprogram myself, change my clocks, do all the things I can do, and train myself to leave 10 minutes earlier and see if that helps.
That's actually a really exceptional idea. I haven't been on time since I stopped practicing real estate. I have not. I can admit to it very
I
just
go off on.
embarrassingly. I just kids baseball game. If I'm on time, I feel like a winner. Where all the other parents are like, this is what us normals do, and I'm there like with the helmet and this. I always just. I'm always like that to mom, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God. And then I think of all those parents, and they're just like, oh, my kid has matching socks on. And I always feel like they're such winners. And then I look at our incredible children, I'm just like, you found socks today without holes. One is up to your knee, and the other one is the one that gets lost in the sneaker. But I feel like a winner.
So see, you could control how we're wearing socks, but that may not be worth. In my mind, that's not worth my energy, and I would rather save my
Exactly.
energy for the things that I prefer to focus my energy on. I have to put energy into being on time with my clients. I have to put energy into prepping for a podcast, and I would rather put my energy towards that than finding matching socks.
Thank
So I
you.
let go of the control around whether or not my dog's well groomed or people have matching socks because it's not going to change much for me. But some
I,
people, that gives them a sense of together, like, ooh, I got
yeah,
my life together. I got matching socks on. Good for
yeah,
them. Wear
yeah.
matching
I
socks.
know I have friends whose kids wear matching socks, and I'm always like, I just sit there. They don't know that I'm sitting there like,
I
you're
think the
that
most
mom.
loving thing we can do, the best way we can build community again, is just cheer each other on. If matching socks make you feel like you got your stuff together, good. If you're able to get your hair done and that makes it wonderful, fantastic. I love that for you. If exercising every day helps you, that's great.
Don't
Have
push it
fun with
down
it.
my throat. That's my problem is I push a
Absolutely
lot of
not.
my things
Yeah.
on other
And
people's
that's
throat.
where control gets unhealthy when we try to do like push it down somebody else's throat, talk to the kids, judge others, and say, well, if you just laid out the clothes the night before, you could have that too.
That would
Okay,
me.
but that
That's
doesn't
me.
that
All right, I think we have a little
from
bit of
that. Something good.
technical difficulty, but Tara will be right back in 2 seconds. I think it's like a little unstable internet connection. I do apologize. I
There you go.
think our weather is, it says light rain, which I have no idea why the internet would be a but this is one of the reason, this is one good example on how do you now manage things that are, you already have an anxiety disorder, aka me. How do you know now manage things that come up? Okay, so Tara went silent for a second, but I know she's passionately talking. I'm just gonna be like, hey, take technical difficulties because it happens. Or I could be like hyperventilating on the podcast and make everybody else nervous. No. Go ahead. What were you saying
I
about
don't remember now. To your point here, okay, so that was outside of our control, right? I have no control over your weather. I don't live there. I have no idea.
beautiful weather, light rain, internet is just like, oh, I'm gonna just test you.
So then we also get, what could I do with that one? You're gonna edit it out. Wonderful. Or we re-record. Or like, there's
I
plenty.
don't know how to edit.
I know.
I Lonnie is gonna help me on the editing. And I'm not, but my goal for the podcast, everybody listening, was to put out content regardless. Because if I'm gonna try to nitpick every single now editing music and do that, I would have never made it happen because I would have
Right.
been too stuck on, oh my gosh,
Right.
it's so much.
So,
So
so guess the other thing we can do with this one.
talk about the socks that my podcasts are like the socks on my kids' feet.
Or we also go with, so there was a glitch. It doesn't change anything. We're recording for 20 minutes. We're going to put it out there. There's going to be a glitch in the middle. And maybe that will show someone that, see, you can let go of the control and still get shit done. And it'll be fine.
I love it. Tara, everybody, is like literally the best therapist in the universe. So if you are in the San Diego area or you're looking for a mentor, please contact Tara. Her
We can
information
do
is
video sessions.
on
We
my
can do
YouTube
video
as well.
sessions.
Video sessions. But I'm just saying, like when I hear your voice, my nervous system goes, "You're right. You're right." There's something about you that works like that for me. And there's not a lot of people in my life currently that have that kind of
Yeah.
uh, what was
Impact,
it called in English?
effect.
Yeah, effect. I have to say I really don't have
Yeah.
many people like that in my life. When I hear certain people's voice, right away I'm just like, I know they're gonna want something.
That's
And
that's hard.
you know, and I know I have to give it to them, whether it's pancakes for the kids or a kiss for the husband or somebody wants something, and I don't have that voice who's just like, you know what, you don't have to do anything right now because
I was like,
everybody's
yeah, you don't have to do it, but then I mean, there are consequences. Like the kids are going to yell. Okay.
yeah, no, I don't want the consequences. I do have to feed them. So,
So then it's within your control, and we're choosing to say yes, which is also a very empowering thing to do for ourselves. To say, I am choosing my commute because I like where I live. I like owning a house, but where I work then is an hour away. That's in California. We do that kind of stuff.
oh yeah.
But
Yeah, in a way, the commute in California is a good thing because you get to already like detox from the day in the car. So
I
you're
love
not bringing all of it in the house because if you have a short commute, you're still like my husband works right now 4 minutes away. He's bringing a lot of that. Not that it's a stressful job, but he's bringing that like right at the footsteps.
yeah,
It's not, hey, how are you? How's it going? It's like you wouldn't believe, and then yada yada.
yeah.
To me, I'm like, I
There's a
can't.
benefit to a commute. Yes, absolutely. And there you go. Reframing it helps us not feel like that's within our control. The reframe is within our control. I can reframe what negative things are happening in a way that brings me some peace. And I listened to 36 books last year because I had commutes. So
36 books. I can't wait to have maybe another sequence where we can do all about Tara's recommendations, which can be like a book recommendation thing for listeners. Because one that you recommended to me years ago, which is great for somebody who's a very big control person, is Codependent No More, I
oh,
think.
the big one,
That's a huge one for me.
good one.
I'm
The
almost
gift of fear.
40.
The gift
What
of
was
fear.
it?
The gift of fear. It's another good one. It's kind of about embracing our fear can actually help keep us safe in the world, and we can find a balance in it and a peace in it. It does have some graphic kind of crime pieces to it. So, I mean, take it with a
Yeah,
grain.
that we definitely I have to also do a podcast
You know,
about
I'll do it.
drama or yeah, drama or trauma, because I see a lot of things also popping up. Not as often anymore because I've been staying off Facebook for about a month now, and let me tell you, my mental health is like in a meditative state, and we're still getting some YouTube views, and even if I get less views, how it has affected me positively to stay off Facebook is worth less views for me. So, but I do want to do a podcast about trauma or drama because I see these influencers at times and they're saying how they have all this drama and like, honey, that's not drama, that's trauma. Like, I'm sorry, the other way around. It's not trauma, it's drama. You're creating your own drama. But
That can
that's one that I want to do, and I will share certain things that have happened to me in the past that I think really have shaped I was already an anxious child, and then of course with the anxious people,
yes,
a lot of the times they pull broken people towards them for some reason. They just
yeah,
gravitate towards you, and then they create more
that can
issues.
happen. That can happen. But also, as different as everybody's human experience is, most of us have very common things happening and going on. Most of us want to have control over certain things. Some of us go further than others with it. We still need to kind of pay attention to what enhances my life, what is safe for the people around me, because we don't no one deserves to be have our lives like put on them, and we want to be mindful of that. But otherwise, focusing on what works for you is probably one of the healthiest things we can do, and then understand that sometimes helping others is what is going to help us,
Well,
finding
that's
something
one of the
bigger than us.
reasons. That's
Yeah,
why I want to do this podcast, because if I don't have some kind of purpose in this life and I just kind of linger around and maybe I get a really good career one day or whatever the case is, to me, that's like living in vain. Like, why would I not share the things like that are behind the pump behind the scenes, like the silent panic attack that you get to experience all on your own, and nobody's going to pick up the phone on the times that you need people the most, regardless of what they say. Right around the time that you need someone, my experience has been they're not available. It's not their fault, but
no,
they're either at work or they have other obligations going on. That's what I want to dig into. Like, what do you do then when it's just you, yourself, and you? But that's another podcast for sure. But yeah,
that's
let me stay let me stay on track here. And a few things I wanna talk about are the things that we do not control. Like, we do not control other people. We do not control timing, outcomes, and external events. We can control reactions, efforts, and mindset. But I would say that the mindset part is very difficult because your brain always wants to go back to the pattern that you've been so used to. Like, my brain beats me up when I'm happy.
yeah.
Um, I feel immerse happiness in my life right now, and then the old patterns come back on, like, how do you feel happy? Like, your mom is unhealthy and your sister has her own things going on. Like, how do you dare feel happy? Have you seen what happens to your best friend? What the father of her children is doing to her? Like, how dare you be happy in this moment? That's my pattern, like an
Mhm.
everyday fight on happiness, because my brain wants me to feel misery because it's so
Your
engraved in.
brain is, yeah, it's been ingrained, and that's what your brain is. Those are the pathways that your brain has dug out, and it takes a lot of effort to dig out new ones sometimes. And that's where medication is sometimes a helpful tool for folks to speak with a professional about that. But there are studies that show that doing the work of therapy is still one of the most effective ways to treat mental illness, but that sometimes medication is a good helper to the process. So that's where we just have to be mindful of all the options that are out there.
Yeah, I I just want to understand anxiety. I think I understand it pretty well. For me, it's definitely not being able to control other people, um, and how they react or what they think of me. Or another thing that gives me anxiety is feeling very stuck. Like, if I'm put into a position where, let's say, I'm in another state or in another country, let's say I'm there with people I may or may not be super close with, and I feel stuck. Like I am there wherever I'm at for a few days and I don't have the privacy to like reset my nervous system. I'm constantly on this alert. And then if you also don't have sleep, when you already feel like your nervous system is on this like electricity almost, you can definitely tell that my mood is going to be affected because first of all, I feel stuck. Second of all, I'm not sleeping now. And
Right.
third of all, if there's too much going on or too many people or interaction, I just can't. And I feel like for people, it's like unusual for them to understand that people need their space or like just not pry about, hey, what's going on? Are you good? What's like, is that a thing? Are people uncomfortable with people who need space?
Yes. Well, because one, we care about that person. We're worried that they need help, they need support. We offer it. Sometimes that's what we want, so we offer it to other people. But a lot of times, us, the individual who wants the space, we're not actually asking for it and or setting a boundary around it because we're worried about
Mm,
how it's going to make someone else feel.
mm.
If I'm with my family, and my family just flew across the country because they want to hang out with me and spend time with me. I would feel bad saying, "I'm overwhelmed. Don't come talk to me. I need space."
Well, how can you reframe the way you just said that? Because certain family members, you can't be like, I'm overwhelmed. I need
I,
space
I
because
know that's what I'm saying. Most of us would not say it that way. We wouldn't even
I
say it.
know,
But then
but
the choice is we just don't say it. And that's not the healthiest choice. So some of it is prepping before they get there, setting up your environment that way, letting them know ahead of time. Oh, there are a few times while y'all are here, I'm going to have to step away because I have a couple of obligations. And then when you're feeling overwhelmed, you say, hey, remember how I said I was going to have to step away? This is one of those times. I'll be back though for dinner, whatever it is. But you pre-set the stage so you can do that if you're concerned. My family would probably be okay if I was like, oh, I'm a little overwhelmed. I need some time and space. They'd be worried about me. They'd probably ask some questions, but they would ultimately give me that space because I asked for it. And so it's finding that balance. It's knowing who you're interacting with and knowing what you need and standing up for yourself in that one. But we are at time, just so you know.
okay, fantastic. That's what we're gonna leave you with. I kind of got mesmerized. I got mesmerized by what you're saying and I was taking it all in. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope we helped your anxiety a little bit. If not, we just added to it, but that's okay too, because we're here to be with you throughout it all, through the life that
There's a
we're
way
all.
through it. Maybe it's not our way, but there's a way through
There's
it.
a way through it. This podcast might have not been the way, but we'll get through it. And thank you so much for listening. This is Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.